Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2021 6th Annual Black Sustainability Summit. We are glad to have you here and listening and tune in. My name is Danielle King, and I am an intern for Black Sustainability Inc. for the fall semester. And I'm glad to have you guys here. So I am with Mr. Chizoro Okeke, and he will be doing a presentation on the Igbo diaspora and the Bantu Federation that will save Black America. And just a brief introduction on who this brother is. He is Brother Chizoro of Egbe Abantu, will discuss ongoing work to organize the 4 major tribes of Black Africa, as well as integrating the Holocaust diaspora as not only family, but as invaluable resources. Calvary and Renaissance. It will also discuss the need for maroon society/tribal nations to advance a successful, logical, sustainable case for reparations. So let's get started and let's hear from Chizoro Okeke and see what he has to say about this. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, all right. Thank you for having me this year on this Black Sustainability Summit. And thanks for that introduction. I'm based in Jacksonville, Florida. And a little background on me, I moved here from California, where I was born and raised. Family's originally from Nigeria, from the Biafra Igbo region. Growing up, I had been raised in organizations, cultural organizations that we brought over from Africa, clan organizations. And growing up, I always saw that, there was a struggle to organize the diaspora. And I saw that us as African continental immigrants could probably contribute to something of that nature. So that's been my journey so far. I moved to Jacksonville 3 years ago in 2018 to play basketball, but also because it's more African people over here. So I saw it as a chance to possibly organize. I linked up with a brother named Baruti Katembo. He's a professor, academic scholar, the author of Uwenzi, Scattered Assets, where he articulates a case for African diaspora and continental Africans to work together, and how the diaspora could be an asset to Renaissance in Africa. We're both part of a loose think tank called the Bantu Federation, where we're talking about the need to redefine Africans using a more spiritual term, a more indigenous term, whereas Africans was like part of a nomadic kingdom originally in North Africa, to indigenous term. And with the indigenous term that refers to people who live up to a certain standard, the community code of conduct, the community laws. Bantu are basically people who obey my hearts. In Zulu, we call it Mteto. In Kikanda, we call it Fukiansi. In Igbo, we call it Omanala. Uganda, Rwanda, Amateko. So these are variations of the word talking about divine laws that keep a community sustainable or connected. But basically, we have these variations of divine order and divine laws. Ma'at, Fukiansi, Omanala, Mteto, Amateka, all these cultures in Africa, these settlements and societies, they have their own word for laws that the people have to obey, their own system of governance. I think the diaspora in the Afrocentric movement, we've been lacking that. So Bantu is an overall term to encompass Black people who adhere to the community laws that the people come together and agree upon. we had looked into the history of what they call Bantu people and said that it's a migration starting in Nigeria and the Cameroon area. They share this word in their culture, to the point of 300 million people have a similar word for it in Africa. And we said that could be an ethnic identity that unifies Black people on a higher purpose. And then eventually, it goes from a language group to being the whole continent as far as a network of people and communities and kingdoms and maroon societies globally. So that was my work with Brother Baruti Kitembo and the Bantu Federation. But then there's another group which is called Egbe Bantu. And Egbe is a word that means a lot of things. It can mean a political body, a society. It can mean like a protective society, like a leopard society, a government, um, or empire, or federation. And it just means Egbe Bantu, the federation of people, Black people who are upright and adhere to a certain law system. So um, we're trying to incorporate that under um, the various UNIA ACL governments that Marcus Garvey created. We're trying to put together we are putting together an indigenous network of people who adhere to legal codes, and that includes like maroon societies in Trinidad that we've reached out to, Jamaica, Haiti, the whole island. We're reaching out to people in the Caribbean and South America, Brazil, and also people based in Florida and in particular the southern states of the USA. We're trying to put together these sustainable communities and networks where we're all working together in concert with the continent. Now, in the continent, we mapped out 4 major cultures in Africa. People that typically called Bantu, we renamed them Chiena Entu, which basically means the Entu language expansion. That goes from Nigeria, or the Bida Biafra, that coastal region, into Cameroon, all the way to Uganda, and all the way down to Zimbabwe. Those are regional headquarters that we're working with, establishing headquarters there. And then there's also the Nile that extends from like Ethiopia all the way to actually central Nigeria. They have migrants from the Nile there. There's also the Oduduwa people, which includes the Akan, the Ashanti, Benin Empire, the Yoruba kingdoms. So basically from Ghana and Ivory Coast all the way to Nigeria again. And then also in northern Nigeria, we also have a kingdom called Borgu Empire that we've been talking to. They represent the Senegal and Gambia River expansion, going from Senegal and Gambia through Mali, Burkina Faso, northern Ghana, northern Benin, all the way to Nigeria. So those are the 4 major cultural groups, and they all basically convene in Nigeria, which is a very diverse place. So we're setting up a lot of bases in Nigeria to work with the diaspora in a concentrated manner, and all those formations will have the label UNIACL in some variation, because the UNIACL represents a government in the sense that they have documents as far as a working constitution, a set of principles, and a declaration of rights, including self-determination, where you can come together in these maroon societies or communities and towns and basically say that you're aligned in a league or a federation or an empire. So that's basically what we're using the UNIACL emblems and logos and names for. And also, we wanted to focus on the Caribbean for the diaspora because the Caribbean is majority Black. Haiti makes up 25% of the Caribbean, and they have their own revolution, which was organized by traditional chiefs. They held a ceremony called Boy-Keman, and they basically organized all the chiefs. Even during slavery, they had a traditional government system, and they started their own empire. So Haiti represents a traditional maroon society originally, and we're trying to get in with the traditional leaders and educators down there, tie them into CARICOM. CARICOM and the African Union just had a summit where they're looking at the cultural values and connections that we just talked about, and they're looking to basically integrate Haiti and the Caribbean and the African Union into eventually we're looking at a super state or a global empire, a global nation, but these are the beginning steps, and it's kind of fragile. They need, or we need, organizers, people who organize on that level, educators that educate about Africa and the cultural rights of passage, really focus on children, economic strategies, things of that nature. They need what they're calling civil society or citizens to organize themselves and integrate into that CARICOM African Union platform. So that's what we're doing in Florida. We're organizing. We have different organizations like the Pan-African Federalist Movement, Afrocentricity International's here. We have an Igbo Association of Jacksonville. We have a cultural center down here in Jacksonville. So we're looking at Jacksonville as a headquarters for a lot of organizing and tapping into the Caribbean community and the African American community, the African continental community. We're looking at bringing everyone this information. We're in the process of doing that. Pan-African Federalist Movement is a key organization because they're discussing a federation and bringing people together, these states together in the diaspora and the continents, and incorporating the diaspora, organizing the diaspora in America and USA to be included. Now, as far as highlighting the Igbo contribution, Igbo is a general term that means like forest people, but it's gone through a lot of different meanings. But in general, today it refers to a group of people in Nigeria who don't typically have kings. They distribute leadership into councils and parent-teachers associations. Basically, you have a council of elders called the OHA, the Ohaneze system. That's an old system. It's been politicized, but they used to call it the OHA system, OHA. They have the Council of Women, the Umuada, that's UMUADA. They have the Umo Opara, that's UMUOPARA. They have age grade systems that are, I believe, typically spaced out every 4 years. You have an age group of your peers to create their own laws and judgments. So all these different groups and councils are used to create a community where everybody is relatively equal. Nobody's really jockeying for position. of power that is distributed more evenly. It's not perfect, but we looked at that system as the one that helped lead Haiti to freedom. So they had so many different cultural groups and kings and chiefs that they said, let's just distribute it, the power evenly, the leadership evenly. And they called that spirit Igbo Grand Moon, which means, the Igbo grown man system where everybody's an adult and the power is distributed evenly. So we look at that down here as a system, the town hall system, the parent teacher system, as one that could gather people in large numbers, even though a lot of people practice different spiritualities and even a lot of cultures that they brought down from Africa. We see a kingless society where everyone's equal is probably going to be the one that organizes the diaspora the fastest and the most sustainable. So in general, that's my presentation. I don't know if I missed anything, but if there's any questions, I'd be happy to take them. I would also like to shout out a radio network, KWAZ Radio Network. They do a lot of reading and studying groups and advocating for children and Black education. And I've teamed up with them. They even got a little online store that they're setting up. But KWAZ Radio Network, I'd like to check them out. They work with bb2me.com and a group down here called Melanated Conscious Society. So you're doing good work.
Can you share your socials with people, please?
Yeah, people can contact me on Facebook, Confidence Chizoro Okeke. Middle name is Chizoro, last name Okeke. That's my Instagram, Confidence 97 now. CONFIDENCE_97. And the same for YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.